Of dozens of South Carolina judges are indefinitely delayed as some lawmakers are holding them up in an attempt to enact changes to the state's judicial election or selection system.
But what those reforms might look like is a big question. Our State House reporter Mary Green has more.
A few weeks ago, a House committee studying judicial reform released its recommendations. Now a group of senators is also taking a closer look at this issue and the dozen-plus bills proposed in the Senate on it.
That's another area where there's a lot of frustration that's built up that nothing has happened yet. And I think you're going to see some action on that one way or the other. And probably sooner rather than later.
Right now, a committee made up of lawmakers who are typically also lawyers and citizens screen judicial candidates annually, determine who's qualified, and forward the names of up to 3 finalists to the full legislature to elect judges. Totally changing that process would require changing the state constitution and getting voters' approval to do that. That's a much higher threshold to clear than a statutory change, which only requires the legislature's approval. So this Senate subcommittee says it'll likely only recommend statutory changes within the current system. They're weighing what those options could be, including changing who's on the screening panel to give the governor more of a role in the process and allowing that panel to advance more candidates' names to the entire legislature.
There are a lot of issues that are out there as well about how the election's conducted, how long people have to review the report once it's issued. So those are some things that have meaningful impact to any reform measure, but I think most people seem to be focused on the makeup of commission and then who actually can be screened out, what number.
And Senator Talley, who is chairing that subcommittee, says he hopes to combine the ideas from the bills that have already been filed into one bill that'll be proposed likely at their next meeting. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
If lawmakers want to implement judicial reform, they're under a deadline to do so. If they don't get a bill to the governor by the time the session ends in mid-May or give themselves an extension, they have to start the process over next year.